What's up everybody, this is Scott and welcome back to another video. Long time ago, I actually did a video about the Moment Anamorphic, like the second or third day after I got it. I finally have put the time in with the anamorphic lens and I want to give more of a detailed review. However, one thing to note, it's not going to be as technically in-depth as some of the other ones that are out there on YouTube right now, but mostly what my use cases were and what I expected and what I ended up getting with those use cases. So let's go ahead and get started. One thing right off the bat that you're going to notice that this is a rectangular lens design as opposed to the round design like the other lenses. So that's intentional because this lens gives you a larger field of view. Again, that makes sense with the 1.33x or 33% more field of view than you would normally get. I can math. So that 1.33 means you're essentially going to get wider shots horizontally and longer shots vertically. It's going to give you those sweet, dope bars that you see at the top, that very cinematic Michael Bay-ish type feel, and I'm going to talk about that more in a second. So with the quick specs out of the way, I want to talk about my use cases with this and the things that I loved about the Moment Anamorphic. So the first thing that I loved is the lens flares. Again, Michael Bay, super jealous of the lens flares that this Moment Anamorphic can pull off. So inside this particular lens, there are cylinders, basically round glass that pull off that whole 1.33x or that cinematic look. But it also gives you the ability to do some sweet, sweet lens flares. You can see in the videos right now, I'm just kind of showing you some pictures and some videos of just holding up a cell phone light and seeing what the lens flares look like. Essentially pointing at a light and you can start to see some super dope lines that stretch end to end. That is what we mean by lens flares. That is intentional. That is not something that is like a defect in the glass itself. We are specifically buying the lens in order to pull off the lens flares. A lot of times cinematographers will intentionally put them back in post, but with the Moment Anamorphic, you get them right as you're recording. So that is one of the nice features about the Moment Anamorphic that I absolutely love. Doesn't matter whether it's pictures or video, you can get those lens flares in either. Another thing that you're gonna notice is this whole letterbox or widescreen view. So when you're watching in the movie theaters, it looks a lot longer than it is taller. That's intentional and that's something that you're going to get with the Moment Anamorphic. But that actually brings up the very next point that we have to talk about, and that's the option of DSqueezing. Basically, when you're using this particular lens, inside the app, depending on the app that you use, you have the option of DSqueezing within the app or DSqueezing it in post. So let's take, for example, I take a picture with the standard Google Pixel 3 XL camera, non-desqueezed with the Moment Anamorphic on it. When I look at that photo is going to look like it's squeezed this way because the phone doesn't really know how to handle anything that's taken this way. Highly technical terms there. So basically what you have to do with any videos or photos, if you don't have or didn't film them intentionally in an app that desqueezes on the fly for you, you have to desqueeze them in post. Now for Apple iOS, the Moment app will desqueeze on the fly for you. For Android users that are filming video, you can use Filmic Pro and then turn on the Moondog option within the settings and it will desqueeze on the fly for you. However, with pictures, you can still use that Moment app with iOS, but for Android folks, you don't have that option and you're going to need to desqueeze when you're in post. So the TLDR with squeezing, depending on the device that you have, it's going to film or take shots, everything squozen together, highly technical term. And then in post, you pull it out like taffy, like Willy Wonka style. Or you can just choose an app like Moment on iOS and it just Laffy Taffys it out for you. Yeah, hopefully you got all that. I think so. Now from the video perspective, one of the things that you saw in my last video, I filmed a lot of stuff out at Ohio State. If you want to check out the video of what you could pull off, all of that was filmed on a phone. So yeah, you can actually get pretty dope shots. There are whole movies that are filmed on just phones. One film called Tangerine was completely shot on an iPhone 5S. The point is, smartphones have advanced enough to where you can use lenses like the Moment Anamorphic and create movies that win awards. So I guess you could win an award with a Moment Anamorphic. How's that for some sponsorship? You can film some sweet, awesome things with the whole Moment Anamorphic. You get that wide screen letterbox look with the flare design, and you can see here in some of these photos, the flares are super great. So if you're looking to kind of take that very next step to go to like a prosumer or almost a professional using just your phone for like a camera or something like that, the Moment Anamorphic is definitely going to take you to that very next level. It adds a very cool cinematic look. It's not necessarily one that I use all the time, but if I was going for some type of movie style look or feel, this is definitely something that I would want to use and put it into my collection. However, if I'm just filming video for something like this, or something like for a review or anything like that, I'm not necessarily going to use the Moment Anamorphic just for the sake of just kind of cramming to make content. This is for someone who's looking to make that cinematography style content, not YouTube technical review type thing. So it's really going to depend on your use case. One thing that I could see a lot is like wedding photographers or things like that using the Moment Anamorphic to capture the movement in between, maybe a bride's coming out for the first time. Those are the types of things that you can actually film and really utilize the Moment Anamorphic to its fullest potential. So that's it. That's all I have. Thanks so much for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe, thumbs up, leave a comment below, and we will see you next time.